Hey everyone, we are through Thursday and we are heading into Friday, options expiry. It's going to be a pretty it's going to be an interesting day tomorrow because a lot of the institutions that sold all those put options at the bottom of the market, they're going to be looking to close a lot of those as of tomorrow. Where those put options are going to expire clearly worthless given this incredible rally in the market, granted on low volume. I'm not going to get into the SPY. I've decided, and I have some comments on the volume. And this has been Josh. Stocks with Josh has done a really good video about this as well. So I'm not breaking news about what the SPY is doing, but I'm going to talk about that going into the weekend tomorrow with Bitcoin. I have a lot to say on crypto right now. I'm pretty sure I have figured out where it's going and adjusted my thesis accordingly. Just basically tighten the screws a little bit on my thesis. They were a little loose before, and I've gotten the screwdriver, and I've just done this, and everything's firmly in place. I did want to recap basically the two plays I discussed yesterday. Namely, we had HIMS. Okay, so we went into HIMS. That was the first thing I talked about yesterday in terms of a new play. And what did it do, guys? I mean, come on. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna bring my hands together and create a fire. But I said right away, this is minimum going to the neckline. And what happened? We rammed right into it. We put a little tiny wick above resistance. Really, if anything, maybe my trend line was a little off, you could argue. Either way, we hit it perfectly. I'm going to adjust that right there. Doesn't really matter. It's bang on. We had good volume. This is not a scary candle. Right now, could we have some digestion down to the 26 range tomorrow? It's possible, but HIMS is looking good. The volume is supporting this move. I would be holding this for now. I haven't sold any of my leaps. I'm still in this position. I'm up about 60 something percent on those leap options. Everyone's done very well. We entered right at the bottom of this move, guys. So there was no pain to this trade. We've been in profit all the way up. So that's the first trade. I wanted to also secondly talk about ASTS. I mean, guys, if you I try to give these alerts. It's so easy to come out and say, I told you so. I'm making so much money, guys. Come and subscribe and pay for a subscription to Profits with Parker. It's so easy to do that as a marketing tactic. But guys, I'm giving for free these videos, right? I'm not charging anything for these videos. I'm giving you plays before they play out. I want you guys to win at this too. Anything that I discuss, pretty much in every situation, I'm going to have money, skin in the game. And if I don't, I'll disclose that, right? But I told you guys, I loaded the boat on ASTS. I had major exposure to this. I had a little bit of a drawdown the previous day. It recovered. We had a beautiful candle. And I said to everyone in the money team today, I said, guys, we were selling off. I'm like, I want to see this close, and I want all body to this candle. I want to at least be at $89, and we well exceeded that. I also said we day traded some calls. Unfortunately, I got scammed. My stop loss scammed me, so I didn't get this move. I still made like an 8% profit on the calls, but I got stopped out. And I said when I got in, I said, guys, we've got an inverse head and shoulders here on the 20-minute chart. It should come down to about here. So I got in here. It came down one more time and stopped me out, and then it went up to the neckline. But we closed above the neckline. So ASTS is looking great. I think it's going to go I wouldn't be surprised if we go to $97 by tomorrow or Monday. So you've heard that from me first. So I haven't sold any. I haven't taken any profits. I'm staying in my leaps on ASTS. I've got a substantial position size. I'm going to ride this up at least for a few more weeks and see if we can get up to the all-time highs, at least to 110. I think we should. So that's ASTS. Let's close the book on that. Now, I wanted to talk about a couple other earnings plays that I think are under the radar right now. And these are my favorite, right? The underdogs that no one's really talking about. Guys, I don't like chasing. You know how I will work. I'm notorious for this, but I am not someone who's going to run after the thing that everyone wants, like chasing Microsoft right now. I literally called that. I said, guys, to my money team yesterday, if we go to 420, that's going to be probably a pivot top on Microsoft. And we hit 420 like 60 today and pulled back. So I don't think there's much more room for Microsoft to move. So I'm not chasing these Mag 7 plays. Anything that has gapped up significantly, I would rather go look at something that's sitting on, sitting on support, looking like it's ready to break out, but the earnings are still a little distant away that smart money hasn't quite gotten to them yet. And hey, if I got to sit on it for 3 to maybe upwards of 10 days with sideways price action, I'm okay with that. I mean, I got options that have plenty of time to them. And, one big move, I mean, that could be a 50% move and I got to wait a week for that, guys. I'm on board. I'm much more comfortable doing that than, chasing something that's gone up like 30% already in a week. And I'm going to be the exit liquidity for all the people that made money. Um, in this case, I want to be the person who's selling into the exit liquidity. That's how you make money in this business. And right now I've got my eyes on 3 earnings plays that I think are worth keeping track of, and no one's talking about them right now except this video. One, I alerted to the whole stocks with Josh Discord today. I believe the other 2 are in the money team, but nonetheless, I did start buying today. Firstly, I bought App11. Not a very large position, granted, but I like this a lot right now. Now, we actually traded it down here at 390, wrote it up, there was an analyst upgrade, it gapped up to 420. We got kicked in deep profit, 20% gain in a day. It came down. We should have rinsed and repeated, but the market was really choppy back then. I was worried it was going to break support. It ended up holding. And then interestingly today, very interestingly, we closed above resistance. This is a W pattern, potential double bottom. Not a great, like this sold off pretty much the whole day, which is okay. It came back to support, but it closed above resistance. So what we have right now is an unconfirmed reversal. What would confirm the reversal on app, as you know, per my confirmation rules, we would need to open and close a candle, whether it's tomorrow or Monday, higher than this 486, 487, close above 487, and we should move much, much higher on app. So that's what I'm watching. I did get into a position. I'm down like, I think I did some pretty out of the money calls because this thing should move hard. If it's going to move, it should move up to easily 525. I don't have a question about that. The earnings are in 3 weeks, so there's still time for this guy to get going, at least get above that test that 200 day. That's still $60 away. That's a fantastic move in some options. In a best case scenario, we could come back to this trend line up at 680, 690, which would be unreal, guys. But I'm not predicting that. I like to be conservative. That's how I operate. I'm not I'm not trying to lull my subscribers into trades that have unrealistic targets, right? But I would start at 525 for a first take profit. So we entered some calls on that today. AppX for the share, the leverage ETF. Bought some shares for the smaller accounts, and we'll see where that takes us. I like App going into next week. Secondly, Kratos. I know most people are like, "Oh, this thing's been terrible." Yeah, guys, that's why I'm interested in it, because this really hasn't moved a lot since the March 30th lows. It's only up. It hit this critical this historic support level around $65. It's only up about 14%. That's basically what the Nasdaq's done, and this is a riskier asset than the QQQ, obviously, because this company is an extremely high price multiple, like in the several hundreds. I think 700 and something maybe. So definitely not a long-term hold for me, but this is also a compression pattern right now that I mentioned on Uber the other day, and we made 50% when it exploded above the descending line of resistance. This is going to move real quick, guys. What I don't want to see on Kratos, I don't want to see a lot of much more downward pressure, because if we keep going down here, say by tomorrow and Monday, and we say we get down to like $68, $69, there's not much time left until this matures, until we hit the apex on these 2 lines, where I would expect price to recover and get above resistance in time. So what I want to see is, at worst, kind of a consolidation day, and then by Monday I want to see this get above like $75, $76, and then we should be running up quickly to about 90 on a Kratos. I don't see why this doesn't catch a little bit of a bid. I don't know where Kratos is going after earnings, but the charts to me are indicating at least a little bit of near-term upside. We're reasonably oversold, and yeah, I think this is due to at least rally up to the trend line. Even if it gets rejected, I'll be long out of the trade once I see about a 9 something in front of the share price, I'm going to be taking profits on this position. But I like Kratos pretty much between here and $72. I wouldn't want it to go any lower than that, just for the technicals to seem right. And then the third and final play, I really want to bring people's attention to Walmart. And why I like Walmart is they have just blown one earnings quarter after another, the last few reports. And this really hasn't moved very much since the bottom of the market because it's a consumer staple. And we also have retail sales next week on Tuesday, and that's going to affect a stock like Walmart. If it comes in positive, Walmart is going to start rallying. Added to that, it has earnings in about a month from now. So it's still early to get into Walmart. I have seen no reason why we can't get up to this 128 to 130. The previous all-time high is around 135. It's not like my favorite trade that I have, but I definitely am going to. I've taken a starter position today in Walmart. I think I'm flat on it. I'm going to be buying a little bit heavier around the 123 level. But this one is good to have in the portfolio for anyone that's looking to trade earnings because we are getting a little bit overbought on the Qs right now. Yeah, we are. What are we now? We're 71, almost 72, guys. Like, we're going to pull back soon. However, Walmart tends to move defensively with risk markets and the broader stock market. So if we see some sector rotation heading into the Mag 7 earnings, so profits get taken ahead of earnings, money is probably going to flow into something like a Walmart that really hasn't moved much and is a sound company where guidance is expected to be pretty good. Earnings, the analyst estimates on earnings are being raised. So there's no reason why this shouldn't catch a little bit of a bid into earnings. Again, there's never any guarantees in life but death and taxes. But I'd be willing to take some risk on Walmart. Not as heavy as I am in ASTS, but I like it as for a diversification play, getting up at least to this sort of 128, 130. And I'm doing June options on this because I want that extra leverage, knowing that spread isn't as good as like an ASTS, which could go up to $130 within a couple weeks. So I did leaps on that just to, lower my risk a little bit. But those are the three plays I want to bring to your guys' attention today. I think Walmart, Kratos, and App, they're all kind of in different industries. And they don't all move together. So if one is up, another could be down. If one is down, another one could be up. And I like to balance my portfolio that way, especially during earnings season. And, even like a McDonald's, that's been sort of grinding higher a little bit. And then I would expect if we do get some pullback in the market, a McDonald's is going to get up closer to 320. So I'm still holding my McDonald's calls. I can talk about that in another video. I haven't talked about McDonald's very much, but we had a pretty good buy at that around $302. But the focus right now, I really wanted to bring to your attention Kratos, also a defensive name, which could move up if the market goes down. And AppLovin, I think, is an understated name. It's now above resistance. We just need that higher high to be put into for me to feel like this is now an 80% win rate trade. Right now, it's in that 60-70% chance, but I'm taking risk with managed position size, and I wanted to bring these to your attention before they really get moving because right now, most people are focused about what's coming up in the near term. For example, what we have next week, we just had Netflix today, we had TSM report. We have next week's earnings. I'm not 100% sure who's reporting next week. I know the Mag 7 are in the last week of April. Apple, we got Meta, Amazon. That's going to be a fire week. But a lot of that move is booked. So if anything, I'm looking to do puts on the Mag 7 maybe in about a week or so because I think the market is extended. I don't think that. I know it is based on what the charts are telling me. And we could be due for, maybe a 2 to 3% correction in the indexes. That would be perfectly healthy. I don't think this market's rolling over maybe until May or June. I'll get into that in Friday's video. So I want to leave that with you guys to look into Walmart, AppLovin, and look into Kratos. Those are my top three sort of sleeper earnings plays that no one's really pumping right now. I see out on YouTube, other channels, or in the Discord. I wanted to bring that to your attention because I think they might have an exciting pop, probably even within the next week. So keep that on your radar. We're going to be watching ASTS tomorrow, see if it can confirm above that inverse head and shoulders, get it up quickly to $97. And then HIMS, I'm just looking for maybe some digestion. I'm going to hold my position, not add, not subtract. And I would expect, ideally, we get above that neckline of 27.50 next week. and then we can make a decision from there if this is really worth scaling or not. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you tomorrow for the Friday weekly recap, where we will discuss, you know what, Bitcoin, SPY, and all the explosive things you want to hear about. So take care.